you guys think? Oh my gosh, yeah. What?
Total.
Why?
Because that go to the turbos that are both leaking. He said normally the repair, it's basically, he's charged.
Well, that seems kind of crazy.
So.
Then what's the rest?
Well, the rest is all the other stuff that already, the other $2,000 was the other stuff. My teddy bean.
Me too. Oh, what? Like, and how necessary is that? So I just need to be pissed about it, and I'm not okay with it. I hate it. I don't want it in the background of the video.
Buddies, I need to record now.
I'm so annoying. You never leave from it.
Okay, buddies, leave now.
But you never leave when you say that you will.
I love you.
I love you too. Hi guys. This is like the first time that I'm actually talking during this vlog, I think, at least like to the camera. Hi, we're back at doing laundry. I'm gonna have a couple things that I just wanted to chat about while I fold some of our laundry, and just a regular Tuesday over here. Nothing too exciting. Actually, yeah, it's been quite the day, as you probably saw. But actually, the book I was reading, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I am reading it for this series, A Woman at 27. And it's all about women and our cycles and why we're the way we are, and kind of how to help enhance your natural bodily womanhood, if that makes sense. I don't know, I feel like that's a poor way to describe it, but so far the book has been so good. I'm gonna do a book review on my channel, but if you wanted to read along with me, feel free. I think the sooner you read this book, the better. They do talk a lot about like the pill, like antidepressants and anti-anxiety pills, which is really interesting because I feel like might be a hot take, but I've always felt like they prescribe them very easily nowadays. Like a lot of people are on them, and I'm surprised that they are, especially when you don't try out like natural things, like even just getting sunshine. Like I know, again, like don't come for me, but I do think that like a lot of times, like it's, have you been outside today? Have you exercised? What are you eating? Like, are you having too much caffeine? And for a woman's body, it's so much different than a man's, that it's like, anyways, I don't want to get too far into it, but it does talk a lot about that, so if that interests you. Anyway, so I'm reading that, so I'd love for you guys to read with me. I'm trying to take notes because I know that I'm gonna forget everything. Well, not everything, but like all the interesting details once I am done with it and need to review it. So as you can see, I got this light. I've had it for a while, but I'm like, it's so dark now, and now I'm like, I need to brighten things up, so we're just trying this. So sorry if it looks like weird. One thing that I did want to talk about, and that I've been meaning to talk about for a while, my relationship with God now that I've been married. I feel like it's been really hard to find where God's place is. It's like it's difficult, and it's more difficult than I thought. And I thought I'd just be able to journal like I did before, pray like I did before, think the way I did before, but marriage really has changed my relationship with God. And right now it's at a point where I like don't know where God fits in. And that sounds really bad, but I'm like, I keep trying to fit him in, and it doesn't fit with how my life is now. So I think like I basically need to like rethink everything, I guess, if that makes sense. It's been hard like recently to get up and actually like journal or read my Bible or read a devotion, and it kind of comes in waves. And I was talking to my friend, and I feel like this makes so much sense, where your husband becomes God in a sense, or the person that you run to, the person that you dump everything on, the person that you're confiding in and looking for strength from. You and your husband or your spouse, like, you want to be that for each other, but it can only go so far. And so I think it's like that's been what really has been the deterrent. Like now, or does that make sense? Deterrent? I don't know. It used to be me and God, and now that AJ is like here, it's like this, AJ kind of went right here and is like in between me and God, where really God should be at the center. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't even know how to structure it. I'm like new at this. All I know is that recently I've just been really, really craving and missing the Lord, and I don't know how to fix it because I keep trying and it keeps not working. AJ felt the same way. I basically kind of told him, this was like 2 days ago, I was like, AJ, I feel like you need to lead this. Like, you need to lead us in going to church, having devotion time together, prayer, whatever. And one thing that did help, which I think I mentioned it in the vlogs or videos, but it was praying for one another. Like, I think that was our December or November challenge, or like goal, was to pray for each other. And that went really well. Like, that definitely helped things a lot start to kind of get going. All that to say is I wanted AJ to lead this. The next morning, I was determined to get up to read, journal, whatever. As the alarms went off, I was like, okay. I was like actually up, but I wanted a little bit more to sleep. I'm just gonna sleep a little bit more. And I looked at the time and it was 7:10. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get up at 7:15. But I was like, oh, what if I don't? Like, this happens like sometimes, you know, if their alarm isn't like set for that time. And so I was like, God, it was just like one of those prayers where you just kind of send it out. I was like, God, like, please help me wake up at 7:15. At exactly 7:15, AJ turns off the fan and like starts getting up. And I was like, what? Like, I did not know he was planning on getting up. Normally it takes me getting up for him to get up. And so it was just like this tiny little like answer to a prayer that it meant a lot to me. I felt seen and heard by that. So we both got up, we read our devotions and did our journal, and that was that. It kind of started this whole thing back up again. We definitely are taking small steps towards it, because otherwise I get kind of discouraged. And I was actually talking to my mom about this. Like, she's having the same type of thing where, you know, she's been wanting to read devotions and journal and just get back into church and the word and stuff. And it's hard. So I just wanted to share this. If you, whether you're married or not, if you're having a hard time connecting with God and making time and kind of getting in a routine, you are not alone. It definitely can be a hard thing. Like, I don't even know what really throws the groove off, you know? Like, sometimes or months, I think the holidays can do that too, where you just get out of routine and whatever. I can definitely tell based on my responses to things, my attitude and stuff, that I need to spend time with God. And my friend, she was saying that, like, it's so true that, like, God is the person that like only can satisfy. Like I can run to AJ and tell him all my problems and how anxious I am or like overthinking about something, but it never like fixes it. It never gives me what I'm really looking for. And that only comes from God. And so my friend was reminding me of that because she felt the same way, or can feel the same way also. I want to be a wife and a woman who goes to God first and gets her strength from the Lord. I do believe that God put our husbands there to like remind us of where our strengths come from and give us strength, I guess, when we, in those moments where when we can't like find it. If that makes, I feel like, sorry, the battery's flashing, so I need to change the battery. Okay, we're back. Anyways, I don't even know if I'm making much sense really. I guess you probably, oh, can you, cause that, I don't know. I feel like this vlog is a whole mess today. I want to encourage you to spend time with God too if you're feeling a little bit out of routine with that, and taking small steps and praying with God through that. I think it was kind of a cool thing. I asked God to help me spend time with him and it worked. Like he answered my prayer, like he got me out of bed. And what a better reason than like my husband's waking up too, which is super random. Only good things come from God. And so I feel like when I think about spending time with him, it's like only good things will come out of this. I've also kind of been viewing it as like food. God is the real vitamin, mineral, nutrients that I need. I keep going to other places for that, and it's like artificial. When I'm going to God, it's like the pure, full ingredient. Like it's the real thing, and it's like the best thing. Like I don't know, like for example, like being with the woman book, it talks about how like there's magnesium in cacao stuff, which is in chocolate, which is why we crave chocolate when we're on our periods. And so that's because of the magnesium. I feel like the equivalent is where like God is the magnesium. Like he is like the full mineral chemical that we need, and everything else is just like chocolate. Like it's only giving us like a fraction, a little tiny bit of what we need, what our body needs to be better. And the thing about magnesium is that it reduces your anxiety, it helps you sleep better, it helps your mood, it's like helps your body just function better, and probably other facts that I forgot. But isn't that cool? Like, and so I feel like God is the same way. It's like when we add and have God in our life, our body, our life, our mood, our attitude functions better in so many other areas, instead of just getting like little cravings of it and like hits of it everywhere in places that it doesn't really, you know, it's not like helping. So anyways, that is my thoughts on that. Yeah, let me know down below if you guys feel the same way about that. Like how has your time with God been? What has that been like? I'm kind of contemplating showing you guys me making dinner because I'm trying a new recipe out and I don't know how it's gonna turn out, and I might need to be like, I think I might get crabby like trying to simultaneously make it and then record it at the same time. So, well, this is the last piece of laundry. I feel like I rambled for a while about like, and sometimes I feel like I can do that. I can like ramble and still not say a whole lot. So hopefully I said something that made sense. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like. I'd love to have you be a part of the laundry chat. And there's almost 300 of you in the laundry chat, which is crazy. I'm trying not to focus on numbers and stuff like that because it's like, it doesn't really matter. I'm in a good spot where it's like, I don't really care how many people watch this. If you're watching this, this means a lot to me, and that's really all that I care about. But it is still cool to see almost 300 in the laundry chat. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Love you guys.